look in the mirror, that's your competition. That's the version of you that said, I'm tired. Yesterday, that gave up after one failure. That looked for sympathy instead of solutions. This war you're fighting, it's not against some rival at work. It's not about the doubters or the haters. It's you as you. Every morning you wake up with a decision to make. Do I give in to my weakness or do I choose war with it? That inner voice. The one that whispers, take it easy. You've done enough. That voice is uncomfortable. It wants you average. It wants you soft. You want to grow? Then you've got to be willing to suffer. You've got to be willing to kill the old version of you every damn day. This is about discipline when no one is watching. About grinding in the dark so your results scream in the light. You won't win this battle once. It's a war that never ends. There's no finish line, no trophy. Just you vase you every hour, every rep, every choice. The pain, the struggle, that's part of the process. Don't run from it. Use it. Let it sharpen your mind. Let it carve out the real version of who you are beneath the excuses. People quit because they think suffering is a signal to stop. But suffering is the cost of greatness. It's the toll to reach that next level of who the hell you're supposed to be. Stop negotiating with your weakness. Stop making deals with the quitter inside of you. The strongest people on earth aren't born. They're built through hardship, through failure, through self-discipline and war within. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't ask for permission. They showed up anyway, every day beating, broken. But unstoppable, it's you vase you. And until you understand that, you'll always be a prisoner to the weaker version of yourself. Burn in her. Break that version of you that settles and build a new one every single day. The real enemy is in the mirror. The most dangerous opponent you'll ever face isn't out in the world. It's the one staring back at you in the mirror. That reflection isn't a face. It's a history. It's your weaknesses, your doubts, your broken promises, your unfulfilled potential. It's the version of you that said, I'll stumble 1,000 times and never did. It's the liar who said, I'm doing my best when you knew damn well you weren't. That version of you is always lurking, always whispering, always ready to drag you back into mediocrity. And unless you confront that enemy daily, you'll live your life in chains. Chains you forge with your own hands. People waste time pointing fingers at the world. They blame their parents, their boss, the economy, their injuries, their lack of support. But none of that can destroy you unless you give permission to the enemy in the mirror. That's the one who skips workouts. That's the one who eats trash when you promise discipline. That's the one who tells you to quit when things get hard. The mirror doesn't lie. It reflects your truth. But most people are too weak to face it. So they hide, they distract, they avoid. But avoidance is defeat. When you refuse to face the mirror, you surrender your power. How warriors are forged, it's not talent. It's not luck. It's the ability to look dead into the mirror and say, see you, and I'm not afraid to destroy you. It's a commitment to killing your excuses before they become habits. The battle starts before the sun comes up. Before the day begins, that enemy starts speaking. You trained hard yesterday. It's not a big deal. You better answer with action, with sweat, with discipline. Every rep, every mile, every painful minute is a middle finger to the version of you that wants to stay the same. The reason this battle is so hard is because the enemy knows everything about you. It knows your fears. It knows your breaking point. It knows the exact moment you want to quit and how to sweet talk you into it. It's the most intimate war you'll ever fight, and there's nowhere to hide. You can fake it in front of others, but the mirror knows the truth. You can post a highlight reel online, but when the lights go off, that reflection doesn't care. It demands the real you, and is weak, lazy, or afraid you will suffer. Not because life is unfair, but because you refuse to confront the enemy within. Level up. Start holding that reflection accountable. Call out the lies. Call out the comfort. Demand more. Because that version of you isn't going to be your executioner or your competition. You choose. Either you rise and fight or you fall and fade. But it starts with acknowledging that you are your own worst enemy. That no one else is responsible for your failure but you. The good news. That also means no one else is responsible for your rise. You always have. But it's going to take war. War against the softness. War against the past. War against the one in the mirror that fears discipline. And here's the truth. You can't negotiate with this enemy. You can't talk your way into greatness. You can't trick. You have to outwork it. You have to outlast it. And most importantly, you have to outgrow it every single day. This isn't about becoming better than others. This is about becoming better than who you were yesterday. That reflection in the mirror is your greatest test. And until you conquer it, you'll never be free. Don't fear the enemy in the world. Fear the enemy inside, because it knows you better than anyone else ever will. Comfort is the killer of progress. Comfort is the silent assassin of dreams. It doesn't come screaming in your face. It creeps in slow, wrapped in soft pillows, extra sleep, skipped workouts, and whispers, "You've earned this." And it convinces you that settling is the reward for effort. But let me make one thing clear. Comfort is not a reward. Comfort is a trap. The second you start getting comfortable, you start getting soft. And the second you get soft, you start dying inside. Change doesn't happen in comfort. Comfort is where potential goes to rot. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you feed the weaker version of yourself. That version is always there, begging to take control of your life. And if you keep giving in, making choices based on what feels good instead of what's right, you slowly become unrecognizable. The fire in your eyes, gone. The edge in your mindset, gone. The discipline, the focus, the grit, all erased by a life that prioritizes comfort over conquest. You weren't built for a couch. You weren't meant to chase convenience. You were born to struggle, to sweat, to fight for something bigger than just feeling good. You see, comfort makes you forget the hunger that built you. It makes you lose sight of why you started in the first place. That's why some people win once and then vanish. They get a taste of success and think the war is over. But the war never ends. The price of greatness is eternal discomfort. It's waking up every day and doing the hard thing you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. That's where greatness lies, in the tension between pain and progress, between what's easy and what's necessary. If you want to rise, you better be willing to stay uncomfortable for as long as it takes. Comfort is seductive. It will sell you a life of mediocrity dressed up as balance. But you can't balance greatness with laziness. You can't mix drive with excuses and expect to win. If you want to evolve, you got to chase the struggle. That's how you stretch. That's how you expand. That's how you break through. When was the last time you truly suffered? When was the last time you did something that scared the hell out of you? If it's been a while, not growing, you're just surviving. And survival is a slow death if you were born to dominate. It tells you to take it easy. It tells you to slow down, to rest, to not push so hard. And look, rest has its place. But rest isn't the same as comfort. Rest is earned. Comfort is taken. Comfort is surrender. If you haven't done the work, you don't deserve the rest. Too many people are resting without having gone to war. They're lounging while their dreams die. They're relaxing while the strongest version of themselves withers away. That's the cold truth. Comfort isn't harmless. It's the beginning of the end. So here's the deal. If you want to rise above the average, 2, you've got to be allergic to comfort. You've got to condition your mind to associate comfort with death, with regression, with weakness. Every time you feel yourself wanting to slow down, push harder. Every time you think about quitting, go longer. The more you lean into discomfort, the stronger you become. It's not complicated, but it sure as hell isn't easy. That's the price. That's the cost. And that's the only way you'll ever earn the right to call yourself uncommon. Suffering isn't a punishment. It's not something to avoid or hide from. It's the damn toll you pay to become strong. Every great human being who ever walked this earth paid that toll. Not once, not twice, every single day. You don't get strong by talking about it. You don't get mentally tough by watching motivational videos. You build that armor through pain, through suffering that most people run from. And that's exactly why most people never rise. Because the moment things get hard, they fold. But strength, real strength, is forged in the fire of discomfort, repetition, and relentless adversity. You want a stronger body, you tear the muscles in training. You want a stronger mind, you tear through the mental limitations you've built over years of weakness and excuses. But there is no shortcut. There is no hack. You cannot negotiate with pain. It demands everything from you. Your focus, your discipline, your time, your willpower. Most people think suffering is a sign to back off. But those who build greatness know it's the green light to press forward. If it hurts, it's working. If it's uncomfortable, it's necessary. Because every rep, every mile, every minute spent in pain is one brick in the wall of your new identity. People love to romanticize the grind, but they don't understand what it truly means. Suffer not pretty. It's not cinematic. It's ugly. It's lonely. It's raw. There are no crowds cheering when you're in the middle of it. There's no applause for pushing yourself when your body is screaming and your mind is begging you to stop. It's just you and the decision to keep going or to quit. That's where strength is born. Not on the stage, not in the spotlight, but deep in the trenches where only you know what it's costing you. Suffering strips you down and exposes the truth of who you are. It tears away all the fake confidence, all the talk, all the image. It reveals your character. And if you're weak, suffering will break you. But if you're willing to embrace it, if you're willing to walk through the fire, it will shape you into something untouchable, something unbreakable. You won't find strength in the comfort of air conditioning or in taking days off when you feel tired. You find it when you suffer and you show up again anyway. No matter what, you need to rewire your mind to respect suffering, not fear it. Because when you suffer voluntarily, when you take on pain with purpose, it becomes your advantage. Most people avoid discomfort. They build their whole lives around ease and convenience. That's why they stay stuck. But you've got to crave the hard path. You've got to love the grind so much that when the pain comes, you smile and say, let's go. Because you know what it's doing. You know it's building something no one can take from you, unshakable strength. This world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards outcomes. And outcomes are built on what you're willing to suffer through. You don't deserve to be strong if you haven't endured. You don't deserve to be respected if you haven't been broken and rebuilt. Suffering is not optional. It's the price. It's the filter that separates the real from the fake, the driven from the dreamers. And if you want to be the kind of person who can't be moved, can't be broken, can't be stopped, then you better be ready to suffer more than anyone else around you. The war is daily. Most people train or grind or push themselves because they think there's a finish line. A magical day where the pain ends, where the hard work stops, and they get to arrive. But here's the harsh truth. There is no finish line. There's no final destination where you get to sit back and coast for the rest of your life. The moment you start thinking you've made it, the moment you start patting yourself on the back, you're already slipping. Because this battle, this war between who you are and who you're trying to become is fought every single day. The war doesn't stop when you hit your first goal. It doesn't stop when you get the six-pack. It doesn't stop when the business takes off or the money comes in. In fact, that's when it gets harder. That's when the real mental discipline is tested, because now you've tasted success and comfort starts knocking louder. Complacency becomes the enemy. The voice inside your head says, you've done enough. You earned the right to chill. That voice is a liar. That voice wants to kill your momentum. If you listen to it, you'll fall faster than you rose. Because in this game, what you did yesterday doesn't matter today. Winners understand this. They don't celebrate for long. They don't dwell on victories. They wake up every morning knowing the scoreboard is reset. They treat each day like a fresh battlefield. And they show up ready to fight because they refuse to become average again. The second you ease up, you lose the edge. You lose the hunger. And once that happens, the weaker you starts crawling back in. The same one you bury with all your hard work. He's waiting. She's watching. Waiting for you to relax so they can reclaim the throne. That's why there's no room for rest. You see, when you realize there's no end to this war, you stop chasing perfection and start chasing discipline. You stop looking for the easy days and start appreciating the hard ones. You stop asking and start saying, let me get stronger. You realize that greatness isn't about hitting a target. It's about maintaining the standard every single day. And when that becomes your mindset, you stop being surprised by the setbacks. You don't flinch when life hits back because you've already chosen to fight forever. The weak crumble because they're playing a short game. They think if they grind for 30 days, 90 days, they'll be done. But the strong, they understand this is a lifetime contract. They're not looking for an exit. They're not checking the clock. They've committed to the process, not the prize. They know the real battle is against comfort, against ego, against laziness, and those enemies don't sleep. So neither can they. That's why you have to train your mind like you train your body relentlessly, consistently, day after day. No breaks. No days off. No finish line. So don't ask when it ends. Don't look for the off-ramp. This is you ves you, and the war is daily. You either rise and fight or sit and rot. Every sunrise is a chance to prove you're still in the game, still a threat. The only way to win is to keep swinging, no matter how tired, no matter how sore, no matter how many victories you've already earned, because the battle never ends, and neither should you. Your emotions are liars. They will betray you at the first sign of resistance. One minute you're fired up, ready to go to war, and the next you're telling yourself later, or I'm too tired. That's why the strongest version of you can't be built on feelings. It must be built on discipline. Because feelings are temporary, motivation comes and goes. Discipline is eternal. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't need a pep talk. For perfect conditions, it acts, it executes. It shows up every single time. You don't rise by doing the work when you feel like it. You rise by doing the work when you don't. When your legs are shaking, your mind is screaming, and everything inside of you is begging to quit. That's when discipline takes over. Discipline is the override switch. It kicks in when emotions try to take control. And let me tell you something. Emotions will always try to take control. They'll tell you to rest when you need to grind. They'll tell you to quit when you're just getting started. That's why discipline isn't just important. It's non-negotiable. Most people are emotional creatures. They let their moods dictate their actions. If they're inspired, they train. If they're tired, they skip. That kind of life leads straight to mediocrity. You'll never achieve anything real if you're a slave to your feelings. The road to greatness is paved with cold, brutal consistency. And that kind of consistency only comes from discipline, from making a choice not once, but every damn day, to act regardless of how you feel. That's where transformation begins. That's where you become something different from who you were. Discipline is a contract with yourself. It's a promise to never back down, even when every part of you is begging to give up. And guess what? Nobody is going to hold your hand through that. Nobody is coming to drag you out of bed. Nobody is going to applaud your discipline in the dark. That's the part people don't talk about. Discipline is lonely. It's thankless, but it's necessary. It's the shield that protects you from the weakness inside. Because that weakness, it never dies. It's always waiting for you to slip up, to get emotional, to take one day off and spiral into a month of excuses. If you want to build something powerful, whether it's your body, your mind, your craft, you better become obsessed with discipline. Live by it, die by it. Make it your code. Discipline doesn't care if it's raining. It doesn't care if you didn't sleep well. It doesn't care if your friends are out partying. Discipline says, I made a commitment and I will honor it. That kind of mindset, that's rare. That's lethal. Because when you become the kind of person who shows up no matter what, you become unstoppable. The world can't shake you. Your emotions can't derail you. You are a machine, a force. So stop negotiating with your feelings. Stop giving them power. They're not your guide. They're your test. Every time you feel like quitting, want to. You're being given an opportunity to prove how disciplined you